Good evening. It is now the evening of Chav Zayin Adar, 27th of Adar Aleph, Tavshin Ayin Aleph. Welcome from Yerushalayim. This is Mordechai Katkis with a message from Rabbi Yoel Schwartz. We recently witnessed a major earthquake in New Zealand in the city of Christchurch. This name has great symbolic meaning. Maimonides, the great codifier, philosopher, and doctor, has stated very clearly that Christianity and Islam have played a very important role in history. God used them as his tool to spread the word of his Torah, to spread the idea that there's going to be a Messiah. And he states very clearly that, of course, the Christian Messiah is a false Messiah, and that's why he died like any normal mortal man. And we are waiting for the real, true Messiah to appear here in Israel. And the earthquake, destruction, and leveling of the city of Christchurch symbolizes this, that the Christian Messiah has no longer any relevance. In fact, this brings back an interesting episode which took place back in World War I. In World War I, the British fought against the Turks, and they conquered the Ottoman Empire here in Israel. And the Turks were losing the war, and General Allenby, who was leading the British forces, was hoping that the Turks would give up in time for the holiday of Christmas. But God had other plans. It was before that, on the eve of the Jewish holiday of Hanukkah, that the Ottoman Empire and the soldiers put out the white flags and said, "We give up." This symbolizes that at the end, the Jewish people will triumph, just like the Maccabees, also known as Hashmonaim, conquered, and that's why we celebrate the holiday of Hanukkah. Actually, there's another reason why God chose to destroy the city of Christchurch in New Zealand. It is known that every year Christchurch was a popular place of gathering for the world's gay population. They used to call it the Gay Ski Fest. It was a ski resort. And religious leaders of different denominations warned the people of this town that they were asking for trouble. They were really looking to anger the Lord, so to speak. And sure enough, they got what they deserved, and the city was destroyed. And Rabbi Schwartz pointed out that World War II signified the beginning of the end of Christianity. When they fought against each other, and they all believe in the same God and the same doctrine, why should they fight? This tells us something is very wrong. And World War I, which saw the crumbling of the Ottoman Empire, showed that something's wrong, that the Muslims are also on the way down. Recently, we have witnessed infighting in Tunis, Egypt, and Libya. It's interesting to look at the first letter of the words of these countries. In Hebrew, Tunis is Tet, Egypt is Mitzrayim, which is Mem, Libya, Luv is Lamed. They have a numerical equivalation of 420, which also spells out the word eight, or ace, which in Hebrew means period of time or historic era, and this signifies the ushering of the Messianic era. It brings to mind famous passages in the Zohar, in the portion of Va'era in Shemot. It says that in the future Ishmael will provoke great battles in the world, and then there will be a great battle of Ishmael and Edom, and God will destroy them, and there will be, as it says in Isaiah, you will have a slaughter in Basra. Where is Basra? Perhaps it is the Basra in Iraq, the home of the Republican Guard. And it's interesting to note that Iraq called Kuwait Basra. They consider it part of Iraq, and they called it Basra. And God says that there will be a slaughter in Basra, and there was a great slaughter in Basra 20 years ago in the Persian Gulf War, and perhaps there'll be another one. Isaiah also told us in chapter 19, I will entangle Egypt with Egypt, which of course signifies the infighting, the civil war which took place recently in Egypt, which brought down President Mubarak. Rabbi Moshe Chaim Luzzatto, author of the famous Path of the Just, The Way of God, and many other important works, one of the great Kabbalists of all times, has said, evil destroys itself. We witnessed this in the former USSR, where communism fell apart. It just destroyed itself. And now we are witnessing the self-destruction of mistaken doctrines of Christianity and Islam. Slowly but surely they are destroying themselves. And while this happens, a new role for the Jewish people is emerging. World War I gave birth to the Great Balfour Declaration of the year 1917, which the nations gave recognition to Israel as national homeland of the Jewish people. In World War II, we learned very painfully that there is no room for Jews in the diaspora, and since then Jews have been coming and returning to Israel from the four corners of the earth. The UN recognized Israel as a Jewish state in 1948, and shortly after we declared our independence, and Jews have been turning to Israel, and Israel has been growing and flourishing since then. As foretold, again, over 2,500 years ago by the prophet Yechezkel, who said that the Jews will return from all over the world to the land of Israel, and throughout the mountains and valleys of Israel, we will witness growth of wonderful cities, and we will see blossoming and flourishing of this land. Have a good night.